Hey guys, welcome back to another PS2 Memories video. Here we are taking a look at Beverly Hills Cop that was released on the PlayStation 2 back in 2006. And this game is kind of like a fan almost made game based off the iconic popular movie from 1984, where it kind of tries to retell or mimic the story from the film, but it tries to use different alternatives to utilise the gameplay. But straight away from the get-go, as Beverly Hills Cop, as we know, is one of the most iconic movies of all time, and it's one of my personal all-time favourite movies ever. I absolutely love that movie, but this game, in fairness, doesn't do it any justice. This game, it is developed like under a budget kind of style title, so it is a budget title for the most part, and it clearly shows because it's not as well refined or really as well put together. Like, it plays okay, but it really doesn't do the brand name any justice for the most part, as the gameplay is quite clunky, it can be sluggish, but it's just generally not the best game really to play. Now, there are our worst kind of style games that were released on the PlayStation 2, but this is definitely among them, which is a shame really considering the franchise that it's based off. Now, in saying that, I did own the game at one point myself years ago when I had a PlayStation 2. I do remember seeing it in a bargain bin, and I remember getting it for about £10 at the time. And I thought to myself, because when I seen it being Beverly Hills Cop, I didn't really know anything about it. I hadn't seen any articles and magazines, and because I liked first person shooters, I thought to myself, sure, what the heck, it's based off one of my favourite movie franchises of all time, so what harm can it be? But I was let down by the gameplay, because the gameplay is very, very difficult. And especially with the likes of even from the first level. Now, there's only 6 levels in the game, but each of the levels, even though they're quite short, they're quite ridiculous in terms of the difficulty and just the silly things that happen. Because at any point, you are going through the missions, and if you fail the mission at any point, even if you get towards the end, you have to start the entirety of the mission again, all from scratch, which will throw a lot of people off. And in a lot of cases, a lot of people will probably throw this game in the bin, because in most people's case, that's probably all it was worth to them back in the day. A lot of people would not have liked this game at all, considering how good the original movie was. Now, I did manage to finish it. I remember playing it for ages, trying to get the best out of it, and back in those days, even if a game wasn't great, I would still always try to give it the benefit of the doubt to some point, but I would still try to finish it. But this game really did test my patience, because it was just clunky and it was just glitchy, and it just didn't play well compared to other games. Now, I did manage to finish the game, funnily enough, but it was a case that when I did finish it, I never really played it again after that. I just didn't really enjoy my experience with the game at all, which is a pity considering the franchise's name that it's based off. It doesn't really reflect how good the films are, but it is just one of those titles, and you do see a lot of those games, especially when they're tied in with movies. It's either a movie tie-in from a game and the game is never really that good, or a movie is made from a game and the movie's not that good. So this is kind of reflective of that. Now, if you do like first person shooters, there would be no harm in having a look at it, but just be warned that it will drive you crazy. You'd need to have patience of a saint really to play it. Now, you can get through the game once you figure out what to do. You can get through the game handy enough for the most part, until you get to certain points where you have to do certain interactive elements where you kind of like are guessing and trying to talk to people, and you have to guess the right type of answers. And the problem is, if you get them wrong, more often than not, you'll either fail the mission or the enemies will attack you and they will put you down very, very quickly, which means that you have to start the whole mission again, which will drive you insane. Now, I don't want to totally sound totally negative, even though it does sound like that in this video, because generally I don't like putting games down. I generally always believe that every game deserves some sort of chance, and you do have to respect the level of work that went into making these games, because they were part of an idea from somebody. But I just do think that, considering the type of game that it's from, the franchise that it's based off, that it could have been better put together. It could have been just made just a little bit better, because there is a premise here for a decent enough game. If it was executed properly, it could have been done quite well, but in just this case, it just wasn't really. And I'd love to know your thoughts on this game if you have played it yourself, and if so, what did you think of it? Did you even know this game existed? And did you manage to finish it? And did it drive you crazy like it did with me? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so be sure to share it down in the comments below. And if you'd like to see more of these style of videos where I do reviews and gameplay videos of similar unusual style games like this that were released only on the PlayStation 2, then be sure to leave a like on the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon to be updated when future videos are released. And also be sure to check out some of the other videos here on screen where I do provide other reviews and gameplay style videos of similar type of games that were also released on the system back in the day, where I share my thoughts and experiences with everyone. So make sure to check those videos out, and again, I will see you all in the next one.